Hey everyone, Josh Foster here, Exit Real Estate, and I want to give you 5 DIY simple tips that you can do to your home that will make it stand out above the rest of the houses on the market. First one is washing your house. Taking the time to wash the exterior of the house is huge and important. It doesn't cost a lot of money and it doesn't take a lot of time, maybe a half a day on a Saturday to do this, but it brings big return to a buyer. When you bring a buyer to your house, or when a realtor brings a buyer to the house, and the first thing that they see is dirty vinyl siding, a dirty front porch, columns that need to be washed, it just doesn't give a very good first impression. So having a clean exterior, it just tells the buyer in a subtle way that you've really taken care of the home. Item number 2 is taking the time to weed the flower beds. We've all read articles where landscaping adds value to your house, but the only thing worse than not having landscaping is having landscaping that looks like a jungle. It just is a turnoff to buyers that come through a house and the landscaping is overgrown, because number one, it tells them what else, it makes them think what else hasn't the seller addressed with this house, and number 2 is it just tells them, hey, the minute you move in, you're going to have a lot of work here by cleaning these flower beds back up. So taking the time to weed the flower beds, I can assure you, will again give that subtle nudge to the buyer that you're on top of the game and you've taken care of things. The third thing kind of goes along the same lines, is mowing the grass and keeping it mowed. Having a well manicured lawn is important, because it's not just important for taking pictures when you get ready to list your house. It's also important to keep it up, because the thing is, when a buyer's going to view your house twice before they ever go in it. The first time they're going to see it online, so we got to have it clean and nice yard for pictures. But number 2, if they like what they see online, then they're going to drive by it. And if you don't have a well manicured lawn, they could pass it by and never want to schedule a showing. Having a well manicured lawn the entire time the house is on the market is hugely important, because again, it gives that great first impression, especially from the curbside. Item number 4, this is probably the most simple thing you can do, but I promise you it is one of the most overlooked things in your house. Change your air filter and clean the grate on the central AC. Every time I go through a house, I see this every single day, that the air filter, the house is sparkling clean, but the air filter hasn't been changed and the grate hasn't been dusted probably since the seller moved in. It's important. It doesn't take any time and hardly any money to do this. And again, it gives off a wonderful first impression, because nothing is worse than a very clean house and a buyer's walking through the house and looks and sees the central AC grate and it is just filled with dust bunnies and it looks like no one has been by there in years. It plants a seed in the buyer's mind of what else haven't they done. So again, take the time to change the filter, clean the grate. I promise you it makes a big difference. The last one is, if you have a garage or a carport, take time to organize your garage. I showed 2 houses just the other day, actually both on the same day, and the houses were great. They were open, had an open feel to them, and when we got to the garage was chock-a-block full with personal items and boxes. I understand people are moving, but when you move everything into the garage, it gives an impression to the buyer that you don't have enough space in this house, which is probably why you may be selling it. Buyers these days are looking for space, and when you pile everything in the garage, it tells the buyer that you don't have enough space, and that plants a seed into the buyer that maybe they won't have enough space if they buy the house. Again, taking the time to get that stuff out of the garage, go ahead and put it in storage. I can assure you the cost of a storage unit to clean out your garage is actually probably a better investment, because it will leave a better impression with a buyer that the house has enough space for someone to live in it. These are just 5 things that you can do I feel like you could probably do them under $200. That would make a huge difference and really give a wonderful first impression of your home when buyers come through the door. Thanks again for watching. I'm Josh Foster with Exit Real Estate, and I hope you have a wonderful day.